It's almost the holidays, and you don't know what to get people. And people don't know what to get you. Besides the obvious answer of Peggle every time, I'm gonna go over some games that you want to consider. For one reason or another, you should be looking at these games right now. The point of this video is to direct your attention towards games that are on sale, going out of stock, or just really hard to get right now. Hopefully this video does not induce fear of missing out or FOMO. So without further ado, let's get to the list. Number 10 is Oceans. Oceans is the latest game in the series of the Evolution games. It started out as a simple board game to teach students about adaptations and environments, and it turned into this hit board game series on Kickstarter. In fact, the reason that it even made it onto this list is because of the now available pretty much everywhere deluxe and limited editions of this game. The deluxe version in particular has new box art, new holographic cards that change the game up and the balancing even a little bit, and it's really nice and it's worth it overall. If you like Evolution or you want to play it, I would consider getting Oceans because it's just the most recent and the best, most fleshed out version of this game, and you might as well throw in the extra couple of dollars to get the highest quality game you can get. The base game of Evolution or even just Oceans would make a great gift for younger people or people who aren't really into board games. It just has, you know, like a lot of charm and personality to it. Number 9 is Everdell. Everdell holds the number 37 spot on Board Game Geek's list right now. This is a resource game where you build a village of friends and constructions in the Valley of Everdell. From the pop-up tree to the amazing art in the game, it's definitely one that's always an eye-catcher. It's a little bit more difficult than you'd expect, but there are a lot of really good how-to-play videos online. The main reason that this is on this list is because it got a reprint, and so did the deluxe version of this game. Right now, it's cheaper than ever, and much like every single board game on this list that you'll come to see, it's pretty hard to get. The Kickstarter Deluxe version is still available via their website, Board Game Geek, and bigger retailers like Amazon right now. Number 8 is the Castles of Burgundy. This game is not as old as it looks, but it is much harder than it looks. If you are down to play one of the highest rated strategy board games of all time, where you build your French estate, go for it. It is pretty cheap right now. It's only $28 for the base game. Just make sure that when you're shopping online that you get the actual base game, that you're not getting the card game or the dice spin-off or even the anniversary edition that just comes with more pieces and nothing really special. I'm recommending this game just for the price alone and considering that it is a really good game. If you want to get the most bang for your buck, then I would go with number 8 on this list, the Castles of Burgundy. Number 7 is Tapestry. Tapestry is another game by my favorite publisher of all time, Stonemaier Games. It was released in 2019, and it is an excellent civilization building game. The reason it made this list is because I've only ever seen it in person twice. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, I know that game, I'll probably check it out later. And I left without buying it, and the very next week that I came back to the shop, it was gone, and I never saw it again. I had to contact a wholesale seller and purchase it from them. So definitely worth getting a hold of if you can find it. This is actually the least popular Stonemaier game, coming in at number 237 on Board Game Geek's list. I think that this is in part due to how hard the game is to get a hold of, that a lot of people haven't played it and rated it compared to other Stonemaier games, but, you know, go for it. Number 7 is Tapestry.
Bonus stage.
We interrupt this list to bring you a honorable mention, and that is Rising Sun. The only reason that this game didn't make the list is because it is really expensive and also really hard to get a hold of. It doesn't really fit the whole like games to get around Christmas season because you'd only be buying it for yourself, and even then it's still really expensive. It's also pretty difficult to play, and with a Board Game Geek rating of a 3.26 out of 5, you can bet that it's probably harder than that. Board Game Geek is always just full of those goddamn nerds that, you know, go onto the ratings and they're like, haha, this is the easiest game I've ever played, and I'll rate it a 1 out of 5. I was gonna save this for a review since I recently got a copy of the game, but this is probably a 4 out of 5 difficulty. I wouldn't trust the internet on this one. You can play this on Tabletop Simulator as well, so it's essentially free. Definitely worth checking out, but that's what makes it an honorable mention on this list. God, my neighbors are gonna hate me. It's fucking 1 a.m. Number 6 is Terraforming Mars. Terraforming Mars is the number 4 game of all time according to Board Game Geek. Why am I recommending it for this list? Because there is a rumored reprinting of the game soon. Hopefully it comes out soon, and hopefully it includes the 5 expansions they made for this game alone. Elon Musk Simulator is also available on mobile and Steam to play with your friends. I mostly play on mobile nowadays unless I'm playing with a specific expansion because there's just so many pieces and the setup and stuff like that just takes a really long time. I would go further into this game for this list, but I'm sure that you'll hear about it soon in a future review. Number 5 is Seven Wonders. I know, you were probably expecting it to be number 7. One of the most popular board games of all time would be a great idea. Not only that, but it's easy, and they just reprinted the game and all of its expansions. I already did a review on the spin-off game, Seven Wonders Duel, which is a 2-player version of the game, and if you want to go check that out, go ahead and click on the video. This is great for couples looking to get divorced this holiday season. Number 4 is Blood Rage. Oh boy, I experienced the biggest FOMO on this one more than any other game. This is a Kickstarter game from 2015 that has miniatures that rivals Warhammer 40k. I mean, just, sign me up. This was designed by Eric Lang, who would later go on to make Rising Sun. This Viking-themed, area-controlled card drafting game with immaculate miniatures only gets reprinted once a year ever since it came out. The reason that it gets the number 4 spot instead of the number 1 on this list is because it's getting reprinted on December 31st of this year, meaning you're not going to get it in time for the holidays. I really wanted to put it on this list, but I couldn't rank it anything higher than 4. Number 3 is Bees. Bees is the newest game from Next Move Games, publishers of Azul and Reef. You guessed it, this game is about bees. As always, this publisher makes a really cool looking, entertaining, abstract strategy game. They're always on the easier side, and it looks great, and the bee minis are really cool. Actually, the pieces are bigger than bees are in real life, so instead of calling them bee minis, I'm gonna call them bee megas. Number 2 is Wingspan. Come on, you already knew this one was coming. With the Oceania expansion coming through by the time this video goes up, I cannot beg you enough to get this game. Get this game and all of the expansions. Watch It Played actually has videos on all of them, and the publisher, Stonemaier Games, paid Watch It Played to make an instructional video on the Oceania expansion about a month before it even came out, so that when it came out, you would know how to play it. Amazing game, amazing marketing. It's slightly easier to get than Tapestry is right now, and if you want to hear more about that game, please go check out the review. Number 1 is the Quacks of Quedlinberg. Now, unless you followed the board game discussion channel in the Bean Discord pretty closely, you probably didn't see this one coming. Released in 2018, the Quacks of Quedlinberg is a press your luck game where you are competing with the other players to make the best drugs. I mean, potions. What else are you going to be using a rat's tail for? This game has a great theme, great pieces. It's overall like a really unique design. I love it to death. The reason why it got number 1 on this list is because it is so hard to get available. This game has been reprinted once since it's been released, and that was 2 months ago. So since the game has been reprinted, I have played it, tried to buy it, and I could only get the expansion. This isn't a standalone game, I just have the expansion. The expansion is definitely worth it, especially if you want to play with 5 to 6 players, but it adds a lot more than just player count. This is another one of those games where I had to contact a wholesale seller in order to get it. So I'm waiting on that now. If you like a game that isn't as competitive but can still get just as rowdy as any other board game, this is it for you. I would suggest the Quacks of Quedlinberg and the expansion, the Herb Witches. That's it for the list. Thank you to all my contributors on Ko-fi. Expect another commission video within the next week. The comment question for this video is, what game would you buy from this list? And obviously the follow-up is, which game should I have put on the list instead? Thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you guys in the comments down below.